Steve, my brother Kane would never approve of our love. What? I said, Steve, my brother Kane would never approve of our love. What? That's the bottom line. Oh no. Undertaker. Oh my God, Chris. I didn't want you to find out this way. I can't believe it. I thought you loved me. We were gonna break the walls down together. But you see, Steve's just such a stunning man. Oh no. Well, guess what? I've been seeing someone else too. Oh yeah, Chris? Jericho? Who is it? It's your evil twin undead brother. Dun, dun, dun. That was the actual WWF plot from the Attitude Days. I just recreated there. I don't know if you know that. So yeah, I'm going to talk about wrestling. I love wrestling. Both sports entertainment wrestling and Greco-Roman high school wrestling. That's all I'm going to talk about. But first, I don't know, I was looking through my high school yearbook thinking about and I had a few crushes. Again, I was a virgin all throughout high school. But that's not what love is about, really, when you think about it. But, yeah, I had a few crushes. Some that were very consistent, some that went beyond high school. But the one that was pretty contained within high school that I would consider my unrequited high school sweetheart. I remember freshman year, English class, I would write poetry. That's how I first started getting into poetry. And I found some of the old poetry. And I swear to you, I'm not going to read any of that now in this piece, but maybe later, just to make fun of myself, because it's very bad. But it's very, yeah, you could tell I'd seen a thing or two about some things. But yeah, this girl would make me, inspire me to write this poetry about her. And, it was one of those things where I'm like, all right, I'm going to just look at her picture in the high school yearbook just to have that. No, she's more beautiful than I remembered. She was the most beautiful girl in that high school. Buxom as well, like the most sought after. Every wandering eye, every fucking swinging dick wanted her in some way. Mostly lascivious, but they just didn't know. She was... As the years progressed, we were both big into English, and I got the luxury of sharing a few English classes with her. Most of my English classes actually were with her. We were an honors program. She was better than me. She didn't apply herself. At all. Her grades were probably not that good, but she was a better writer than me. She probably is still a better writer than me. Her stuff was just transcendent. I never really even read that much of it, but just I got glimpses, and just it was flawless. Our senior year, when they're divvying out the awards, of course me, fucking the white man's lie, I hoarded a lot. But I only got the English one that was for literature, analysis, and the love of books. She got the writing ones. She was amazing. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about my old high school love. We're going to talk about wrestling, okay? Because I love wrestling. I'm serious, WWF. Mick Foley, Anatomy of a Hardcore Addict. This has a list of all of his injuries at the time, and there are probably more because, I went to what was supposed to be his final match in Hartford. It was a No Way Out. Hell in the Cell against Triple H. Him as Cactus Jack. It was amazing. The whole pay-per-view was amazing. I was there almost front row. Not front row, but from the XL Center when it first goes up that row. My father and I were there. We had a sign that was just our name. And it's on there. You can freeze frame it and see just Will Moffat era pointing down. You can see us because we're fuck these wrestlers' names. Hey, it's all about us. It was great. But then, of course, Mick Foley came back. But that's not the point. So I'm going to talk about not just that, but in high school, I got into wrestling. So that's what we're going to talk about. All we're going to talk about. It's not going to be about women. The things I love the most. Part 1. Beyond the mat. So the reason I got into the wrestling team was because of that girl I mentioned. Because I had my huge unrequited crush on her. She was one of the managers for a year. So I joined the team. I'd been on the football team. Wait, was she a manager on the football? Yeah. Oh my god, I was obsessive. It was a little. I don't think back on it. It's a little Todd. It's a little Todd of me. I didn't know what I was doing. I was raised by junkies. I was doing. What I was doing was pretty wholesome compared to fucking what I could have been doing and what other fucking kids around there were doing. Well, what I did later on. I was trying to be fucking just. I was awkward. Keep this in mind. Might be easy to forget and all the, raw magnetism I mustered in my elder years, but I was a weird looking kid. I still smell bad, but I smelled a lot worse then. And I was fucking being raised in a trap house, and Snickers smelled bad, and my clothes were never really washed. I was just kids, I had friends, but most people don't like me. They made fun of me. I always made fun of me. I'm very insecure. That's why I had just my video games. And I'd have friends here and there, but I don't know, there'd always be some weird betrayals or just substance abuse shit or just, I don't know, passive-aggressive things, on both sides, so I was always rogue, My close friends, I guess, like I mentioned about Miles and Nick, but people within high school, it was always, I had to be Yojimbo, man with no name, But I would find my way. And I remember, actually, it was at, football game, the quintessential football games, and I'm sitting there by myself, and the girl, what should I call her? I don't know. I'm not going to even mention her name and just talk around her, but, you'll know who I'm talking about. Daisy. Fuck it. So Daisy's there too with, the usual crew. Of, whatever, trying to go, the toolman tailors, trying to swing their tools around, fucking having a fucking dick off. But I guess she's probably exacerbated by it, so she takes a seat next to me. And we start talking. I can't remember how long. It was a while. I don't remember the game just became a distant blur. It was her eyes, her smile, and she wasn't exposing herself. She was wearing the sweater. She had to. Dudes would be like, they get raped. They literally get rapey. It'd be fucking mice and men shit going on. East Harper High School was fucking insane. I mean, But we talked about Tolkien, weird, nerdy, geeky shit, and we geeked out. It was cool. It was real cool. But, we were in just different fucking scenes. Nothing. Again, I was dating people occasionally, It was funny, cracker ass me, fucking, my first few girlfriends, just girlfriends really, some barely even made out with that much, were black women. First girl was mixed. I had another black girl, and I had another unrequited crush on a girl that was just, friendship and agape, I think, misplaced, maybe. But yeah, me and Daisy, though, I don't know. So I joined the wrestling team because she was the manager. And then she ended up just leaving. So I stayed. A few years went by. Now, 1 year I did very well. Okay, just for most improved. You've seen some of these before. I was conference champs. And because I was one of the few not meatheads there, made all academic team. Now, you might not be able to see how intense I look. Yeah, look at that, dude. And I'm wearing a shirt that says God Jesus. They had to, I think, intentionally block it because I just didn't care. But yeah, I did very well. But still, it was just funny. I got into it just for this weird, hey, man, you good? Yeah, you wake. But then I really I'll tell different tales about my wrestling high school experience. That was very character building. Be nice about it. Yeah, so next year I did really bad, but whatever. I was going to school and things were, it's that as we go on, we remember. So I get the yearbook. And, let me find a picture of myself that will maybe elucidate what I was going for at the time. But yeah, so we sign them around, pass them, do the usual thing. And she, me and Daisy, the class we were sharing then, she passes me hers. I pass her mine. I decide to take a chance and just maybe I did say it, just more or less say, hey, I love you. We were where we were, we were at where we were at, but I love you. I loved you as a, not even just as the sex pot that you clearly were, but just I loved you as a person. I loved you as a human being. Like I got a sense of your soul at a certain time. You know, weird shit. I decided I was gonna write. I'm gonna just write this. Okay, here I am. Loud as can be. Too cool for school, you know what I mean? I've missed those blue pants. So yeah, I overdo it. Then I get mine back and I see she's written just as much. She probably wouldn't want me doing this, to read this. This is so personal, but I don't know where she is. She's not gonna watch this. Like, shit, I hope she's not dead. I would know if she was. I think. That's the thing about East Hartford and Shadow East Hartford. There's lots of people. I think a lot of people didn't make it. Lots of people aren't making it. Lots of people are in bad ways. Like I said, The Walking Dead. But I think there's lots of people that just didn't make it. That just, like, again, if it took me over a year to find out about my best friend Miles, shit, I'm sure there's lots of people I used to know that nobody knows anymore, you know, except in the stars. But this is what she wrote. Will, remember how we were just saying that what we think about, we just can't get down on paper? I feel the same way right now. Throughout high school, and especially senior year, I've found in you a soulmate-like quality. Without some structure, this would be too scattered, so I'm going to make sections. First, I'll start with all the qualities I adore in you. I know you'll love, you conceited bastard. Oh, you got me good. You are insanely intelligent, unique, completely unconcerned about the opinion of idiots. Hilarious, cynical, open-minded, etc., etc., etc. And I feel you always know exactly what I mean. Going to school here, in fact, living in general, can often be lonely for people like us. While I have a facade of normalness and conformity, and while we have followed somewhat different social paths, underneath I feel as if you understand me, as well as the world. One of the best parts about class was always glancing back to you for your understanding looks, as it always relaxed me to know someone was as enraged by the idiocy surrounding them. It also relaxed me to know someone had that understanding about life. I can't explain it, but I think you know. I've enjoyed your company, laughter, and mental companionship these past 4 years. I didn't read this beforehand, I'm sorry. I should have. You may not arise to great things, but I hope you have an extraordinary life because you're meant for one. Good luck at Trinity. Remember, you always have a friend somewhere out there. I hope we meet again much later in life so we can share our knowledge and bask in our elitism. Whether you keep in touch or not, just knowing you're alive is a comfort. Love, Daisy. But yeah, I really made a lot of good friendships on the wrestling team, and I still occasionally will watch the WWF. It's not good, clearly, but once in a while there's some surreal throwback, like even during Corona, which, you know, they shouldn't have been open, but they still, you know, if you remember, I don't know if you remember that, there was a weird back and forth thing, because, you know, Linda McMahon was part of the Trump administration. She almost became a Connecticut senator, and, like, that's the only reason the Ideanomics thing, and the McMahons are out of Connecticut. So, like, there was a weird fucking thing going on where they, like, did this, like, the Florida deal, and, like, it was weird. But they initially had shows just in empty stadiums, and, I remember it was, like, Stone Cold there, and it was 360 day, and he was just going, like, to this blank audience, like, "Gonna give me a hell yeah." Silence. "Give me a hell yeah." What? And then it's just this random dude finally goes like, "Hell yeah." So I'm glad I was able to use this series to, again, talk about things like wrestling, burly men, and toys that I care about, and not at all am I talking about women or relationships in all their forms. That's not what we're going to talk about here, because it's Valentine's Day. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. You know, time of remembrance.